The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Discretion is advised.
It's gonna be a short one tonight, everybody, because it just should be, right?
Yeah.
12, 13 minutes?
10?
I mean, we gotta give them a little bit more than 10 minutes.
Okay, 11 and a half.
That'd be like a sixth or a seventh of what we usually do.
That's true.
How about we compromise?
Okay.
10 minutes, 30 seconds.
I love it.
All right, there it is.
Love it.
Welcome, Heidi. Thank you for getting out here.
Thank you for having me.
You're a little under the weather.
I am a little
But
under the weather.
we're gonna get through it. I always want to bring this up because every other week you come in and you don't feel good, and I say you never feel good, and you're like, I always feel good, and then we have this talk about how you're always sick, and then you say that you're never sick. So what is it this time?
Well, I don't think that when I say I don't feel good, like I'm not sick. When I say I don't feel good, I'm achy, I'm tired of life, like,
which happens when you're 30. It's just like
35.
35 it starts.
Though.
Yeah.
But
you
like,
look
you
30.
know, I'm not sick.
Are you crying?
No.
Oh, you're just wiping tears of
no, like
reality.
Now I'm sick.
Okay.
I'm actually have a fever sick. Not right now, but I had one yesterday.
I will say you look cool when you're sick.
Thanks.
You're rolling in with a hat today. I like it.
Thank you.
Angel City, which you told me was what?
It's the women's LAFC soccer team.
Cool.
Yeah, they're really.
Did you get it when you went to the
watch.
game? Did you go to the game?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
Nice.
My friend's niece is on it.
Does she? Oh, she's on the team.
Mm-hmm.
So she's
super
good.
Cool. Yeah, it's really good.
I don't get the soccer
She was with Duke. She played with Duke.
The guys of Hazard.
This was something on like.
Those are headphones. Don't be nervous. They've been there for 2 years.
She played Duke college.
Okay.
And then they. What's the word? They promote it or they.
Oh God. Yeah.
You've
been not promoted. Jesus, I'm a sports guy.
You are
called up.
Called up.
Promoted. What is that the word we just said?
Yeah, but what is that called when like a football guy he gets on the team?
Selected?
Nope. It's wow.
Are we? I have a question for you.
Yeah.
You and I.
Are we here?
No.
Are we related?
No. Are we stupid? You get
transferred.
No. Because you don't get transferred from college to selected.
Oh my God. And I watch
up.
it on the news when they do it for sports teams.
Drafted for fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ.
Hey. Yes.
Woo! Drafted.
That's the word that we knew from the beginning. We just wanted to see if you guys knew it. Man.
Today, so I was in bed all day today. Not proud of it, but I got up, and the worst part is that this weekend I took everything out of my closet, and I have a very small place, so I have a huge closet. So I took out boxes, and I'm going through everything just in case one of these days I have to leave at a drop of a dime, and I'm like, okay, I need this box and these clothes.
Are you planning an escape?
I don't know, but
Are you becoming a doomsday prepper? Okay.
But so I just wanted to go through, and it's like the amount of fucking shit we all accumulate.
It's a lot of stuff.
Is insane.
I don't have a lot of stuff, but this one, a lot of bullshit in the house.
No, your place is neat and
no, it's not. Look to your left. Look straight ahead. Look. I mean, you guys can't see this when you're watching this, but on the other side of the cameras, there's shit stacked. It's a bit of a nightmare.
It's not bad though.
There's a cool character watching over us.
Oof. But so I have everything out, and then I got sick.
Oh. Do you think it's from Dusty?
No, I think it's from being around people all the time at the place I work at.
Are they dusty, musty people?
No, but I saw this girl. She blew her nose into a napkin, put it on her lap after she blew her nose. A guest, yes. A custom. Put it in her lap. And then they left, and I forgot about it, and I touched it with my hand.
No. No.
So I think it was that, and mentally I was like, I'm gonna get sick from her fucking napkin. People are nasty.
Yeah. It's brutal. We were at the Coffee Bean the other day, and we saw a guy walking. He was like a young, kind of cool looking dude. And he sneezed into his left hand. No, hold on. Just hold on. He sneezed in his left hand, and with the right hand, he scooped it out and flung it twice. It's in one hand. You could have just like thrown it or wiped it. He did this. This one did. Thwap. Thwap. On the sidewalk.
That is why I'm sick.
Yeah. It's
Right
people
there.
like that.
People net. Just
I couldn't believe
sneezing
what
all
I was
over.
seeing. I couldn't
It was
believe what I was
horrible.
seeing.
Well, wait.
Fucking animal.
I'm in bed this afternoon, or I'm like up and about. I made coffee. I tried to get myself going. I tried to like I went through a box and I found all my 9-inch nails pictures because I was when Queens of the Stone Age was touring with them. I went and I got to see
2005.
them. Yeah,
I think. With teeth. Anyway, don't matter.
I think so. I thought it was later. It was when he was sober.
Yeah, it's 2005.
Was it? And he was all yoked out.
Yep.
And,
That's 05.
yeah.
Yep.
So I have all those. I have some really great photos. I'll send you.
Nice, please.
Send them to you. But anyhow, I was laying in bed and I heard this noise and I was like, "What is that? Are that fireworks?" And then all of a sudden I hear sirens, cop cars, sirens, ambulances. Then choppers up ahead, and I'm like, what the fuck?
You must hear that a lot in your part of town, though.
Yeah,
right?
there was a guy just shot on the side street of where I live
Very cool.
last weekend.
Very cool.
I don't want to brag or anything,
pretty
but
sweet.
you know,
Yeah.
I have it I put it in my car, but I have I found in my box a screwdriver that I'm gonna walk with, just
Fuck yeah.
shank somebody if they come too close.
I carry multiple weapons in my vehicle.
Do you?
Yep. I have a little mini baseball bat. I have one of those window breakers in case your car
Oh,
flips or in the
I want
water,
one of
but
those.
that works really good on a skull or
Oh,
someone's nose.
nice. Yeah,
Just
yeah,
shatter
yeah.
someone's nose.
Bam. Mm-hmm.
And then I got these two registered lethal weapons.
Yeah,
That
I
go
got
with me
this
everywhere.
gun
Yep.
that,
Yep. You got two guns. Fucking
Oh,
pow.
this one's not
Not as good?
Not as good.
Okay, cool. Oh, that's the injured one? Okay, gotcha.
So, what was I gonna say? So all of a sudden I hear like people like running out of my apartment. I was like, what is happening? So I go out and there's this little Hispanic woman she's the one who thinks I speak fluent Spanish. So I
You
walk
look like
out.
the type that would.
I was like, hola, ¿cómo estás? Yeah, bien, ¿y tú? I said, ¿cómo, what's happening? Or whatever I said.
What's happening?
What's happening?
What's happening, hot stuff? Okay.
And she's like, oh, bang, bang, choot, choot. And I was like, what? She goes, yeah. And her grandson, I think, is one of the MS-13 guys. But anyhow, I go walk.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Nobody knows where I live. So I walk outside. And
So
it's
she was
right there.
she was stoked about the shooting because it was
She was older. It took her like.
she was proud though.
Kept going one step at a time, and I held the door open for her. She's like, no, mira. So I look, and it was insane.
Did you see a body?
No, but it was just like mayhem on my street because I live on a busy street, and there's an even busier one, and it happened there. And there was 3 cars. A cop car was involved too. So I don't know if it was a
shit.
chase or
Yep.
something. So
You said someone was shot. Do you know if someone died?
I don't know. It was blocked off for a very long time.
Fun.
So.
Fun.
It's exciting stuff when you're
Guys,
sick. Like,
move to Southern California. You'll see some
it's
cool shit.
so
It's
cool
a
here.
non-stop party around here.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Well,
Bra.
right
That's
on,
amazing,
man.
bra.
Can I tell you about
Slap happy.
a dream I had last night? Or the other night? It was the other night.
Okay.
I had a dream where, you know how throughout the night you'll have multiple different dreams?
Oh, yeah.
Like, then they're all over the place?
Do you wake up in the middle of them?
It depends. Sometimes yeah. The other night I had, I don't know, 4 or 5 different dreams. And in every one of them, all different locations and scenarios, in all of them, I was being chased by tigers. In every one of them. Through a city, in a house, on like a vacation, in like a vacation spot, there's
Sounds
always
like
tigers.
Like a Dr. Seuss. In a house, in a bus.
Oh, yeah. Tiger and a liger. And yeah, it was everywhere.
What does it mean?
Well, it's fine. I did look it up. And I forget what.
And they were all separate dreams?
All separate dreams, and they were all trying to get me.
Were they white tigers or orange?
I think they were Mexican. They were Mexican tigers, I think. They weren't white.
Mira.
They're telling me there's a shooting around the corner. No, they were just normal tigers. And
Interesting.
but they were always like hiding and like hunting me and waiting for me to walk by and then jumping out. And then like I would always get away, but just barely. So it was very high anxiety dreams.
Horrible.
So the meaning is general meaning of tiger chase in dreams. When you dream of a tiger, this animal may signify how you live your waking life. Mm-hmm. However, when you dream of it chasing you, this can signify how you chase your dreams and your dedication to achieving your goals.
You just hide in corners and shit.
That's it. I don't want to be successful. I don't want to achieve.
Wow.
A dream about being chased by a tiger means energy and power. It might mean monster energy because that's the only thing. That's the only kind of energy I get. Isn't that? It doesn't seem like it would be about that.
It seemed like it would be
fear and anxiety and like I'm failing.
Like pack up your shit and get the fuck out of town.
Yeah, everyone's trying to get you. So I was surprised by that meaning.
Well, that's cool. That's a cool dream.
I mean, not when you're having it.
No, but I mean afterwards.
Symbolism, I guess. I think that's kind of bullshit, though. What do you think about dream meanings?
I think they're cool. And when I was married, my husband, he'd wake up and before we had coffee, or we'd be having coffee, I'd be like, oh my God, I had this dream about blah, 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 blah. And he just would look at me and close his eyes and be like, can you just give me a minute? And I'd be like, oh, I'll forget it. So then he bought me a dictionary, a dream dictionary. So then I would wake up and I'd look at the meaning. It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
So I believe in all that stuff.
Do you remember any of the weirdest dreams you've ever had? I know it's a very on-the-spot question, but...
Yeah. I have a lot of going into my old school at my age and forgetting my combination of my.
So you're going in as a 35-year-old woman to attend class?
Yep. And then I forget my.
So we are stupid.
Like I have my like sheet of my classes, and I'm like, oh, I don't know where I'm going. Like I think those are anxiety dreams.
I would think so.
I have a returning dream.
Reoccurring.
We are stupid.
Yes.
Reoccurring dream, and I'm always in an airplane hangar. Lenny Kravitz is always in my dream, and I'm waiting tables. It's more like a nightmare, and I have the whole hangar, and it fills up, and I forget people.
People you're supposed to wait on in an airport hangar.
My section is the whole. And Lenny Kravitz is always like my boss, or he's always like with me.
Oh, we've talked about that before.
I have that all the time.
Is he nice to you in the dream? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good.
And then one of my I had two like really weird ones when I was younger. I used to dream about Robert Plant. Did I tell you about this?
I don't think so.
I never even really knew about Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Like I never really, when I was probably like 18 when I'm like between 16 and 18 when I dreamt about him. And I never knew him.
This sounds vaguely familiar, but please continue it anyway.
But I didn't listen to Led Zeppelin at all.
Like
I
suck.
didn't. No, I think my dad had like an album, but I just never until I
suck.
What?
It's overrated. They suck.
Oh, I love Led Zeppelin.
Okay, well,
or
no one's perfect.
Greta Van Fleet, whatever.
Same shit.
And I would have these dreams that he would take me to my prom, that he would
that's pretty cool.
Be at like basketball games with me. He was like my date. It was so bizarre, but like not a sexual thing. He was just my boyfriend of like long-term or I don't know.
Did people at the dance, did they know who he was?
No, he was just
some old curly-haired guy?
But he wasn't. Oh, he was his young version. But I didn't really know who. I didn't know I can't explain it. I must have seen him on a show or something, and then I kept but I kept, and then he would come to me to these Jehovah's Witness events in my dreams, like at the, there's a thing called, what's it called? It's an assembly, but it's like, it's called the District Assembly, and it's once every year in the summertime. And as a Jehovah's Witness, as a young kid, especially a girl that's 16, you pick out your outfits because you're looking for a man to marry.
Yeah.
That's your thing.
Yep.
And he'd always be there with me in my dreams. So finally, like 19, I started to listen to them, and I was like, oh, wait, that's Robert. Wait, that's the guy I've been
my
dreaming
boyfriend.
about. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
You dreamt about him. When you were dreaming about him, you didn't know that he was Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin?
No.
And then later you saw something with Led Zeppelin, and you're like, that's
him.
the guy I dream about?
That's the guy I dreamt about all the time. So
the
I must
fuck?
have seen him on like a show. I know it
Right.
sounds so bizarre and not like
Very
how is
odd.
that possible, but I must have seen him on a show, maybe in
Or
a
those
past
commercials
life.
of
I
like,
was
get the greatest hits of whatever the shit, you know?
the K-Tel ones. I don't know. But and then my uncle, or he's like my great uncle or whatever, he built the Integratron, and Robert Plant did a lot of his music there in that place. So no, I don't know. It's weird. I can't even.
Now, would you be one of those
It's
people
weird.
where if you met him and you like, let's say it was in like a somewhat like small circle, would you tell him this?
Of course, I think it'd be funny.
I think he would love that.
Yeah, I mean, I dreamt. I mean, he was at my prom. I didn't go to prom. I wasn't allowed to go to dances. So, but he was always with me, and it was like this, like he just felt at home.
He was a comforting force.
Yeah, Robert Plant.
What was the name of was it the Freedom Hall? What was the hall you talked about?
The Kingdom Hall.
Kingdom Hall? Yeah, I love
Those
that
are
term.
what the Jehovah's Witnesses go to. It's not. They don't call it a church
Kingdom Hall.
because that's bad.
Was there another hall or some other weird term? There's a bunch of weird terms, but Kingdom Hall was it?
And
Okay.
then the story I'm writing about my dad, they had Kingdom Row was
Okay.
the row at the
yeah. You told us.
prison. Yeah.
I like that a lot. I had a dream once. It was very high anxiety of Dracula chasing me on the monkey bars.
Oh my God.
So like neither one of us could like drop down on the ground. I couldn't get down on the ground and run. I had to keep like swinging, and I'm exhausted. But he's like gaining on me quickly.
was he going 1?
1 or 2? I'm going to bite you on your neck. But it was like the most enormous monkey bars. So if I dropped, it was like 100 yards up.
But he
So-
could fly, so
Yeah, he was just fucking with me. So I was just terrified. But he's
Dracula.
like, but he can get me at any time. One of the weirdest dreams I ever had. I was in my dream. I was sitting on a park bench, and I was eating a piece of pizza. I had a piece of pizza in my hand, and I turned to the side to look at the pizza, and there's the most heinous, terrifying witch you've ever seen in your life, and she bit my hand off with the pizza on it because she wanted to eat the pizza. Like took my whole hand with it,
oh my God.
and I woke up and my hand was all pins and needles. So I must have been sleeping on it. So
Oh,
the
yeah,
feeling
yeah.
made me have this weird dream about
Yeah.
a witch eating my hand and my
And
pizza.
your damn
Yeah.
pizza.
Well, I think your
that's
weirdest
some shit.
dream is when you woke up and your bed was off the floor.
That was not a dream.
Right.
That was the realest shit ever.
Exactly.
The realest shit
You
ever.
don't believe in spirits.
Hell
That's
no.
So bizarre.
So dumb. Oh my god. Something happened to me the other night that it felt like a dream. So, do you remember the other night, maybe a week ago? I'll just tell you what's happening. I was having some romantic self-Dan time in the middle of the night, watching pornographic material, and
Are you home? When that happened? Oh,
she's asleep. It's like in the middle of the night. That's when I do most of my work.
in bed?
No,
Another room. Oh, I'm like.
she's just in bed, just shaking in the bed. No, I'm on the couch where you always sit, all there. So I'm doing my thing, and I have like my headphones in, and I'm watching, just a lovely woman
What if-
do a very nice thing to a guy on film.
What
What?
if she walked in?
Okay, this obviously she's seen my penis thousands of times.
Oh my God.
But it's always been my biggest fear of
Would
like
you feel uncomfortable if you saw?
I don't know. I've thought about it, but I'm not sure how I would feel.
You always
Maybe
said you wouldn't care, but now that you say you're not sure, it makes me fucking panic.
Okay, but like,
You should.
no.
Well, here's what.
Did you ask me would I feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, would
well,
you
like,
feel
I wouldn't
uncomfortable?
care that I wouldn't be like those women who are like, oh my god, you
Right.
masturbate. But like, would I feel uncomfortable? Like, I wouldn't know what to do.
Right.
But
hey,
I wouldn't be.
So we have a. Well, I think we have an understanding where if it's the middle of the night and you're gonna come in, you have to text me first. You have to let me know what's happening.
I did not know we had that.
Well, that's the fucking rule. From henceforth,
Oh my God, you have a fever.
this has to happen. So the other night, I'm doing that.
Fuck.
I'm on.
Hey, I'm about to get up and go for a
No, not yet.
Hey, I'm really fucking
5
naughty,
minutes.
but
5 minutes.
I know, that was scary.
Didn't scare you. So this is happening, and I'm in the zone. I'm focusing. Everything's going good, and it's like I said, I have headphones on, so the house is pitch quiet, and then like that, right? So I feel the whole couch shake. I'm in the pitch black.
Oh, it was when the earthquake hit.
Yes.
210.
So
29,
exactly.
209.
So what I thought she jumped on the couch to embarrass me. I may have been on the
It's funny
edible.
that you
I don't
like
remember.
Slammed the door.
But I was like,
No, you weren't on anything you said.
I wasn't.
No, you
It
specifically
felt like
said
I
that.
was. So I was like, it's pitch black. So like my eyes turn and I can't see in the dark. So I'm trying to adjust. I'm like covering. I close the thing, and I'm just
Oh my
I'm
God.
instantly just like
Amazing.
flop sweat of embarrassment.
That was God saying,
But it felt like a huge, like a dog had jumped next to me on the bed. It was like did you feel the earthquake? Did you feel it?
Let me
No.
explain. Yes.
But let me ask you this: didn't it feel different than every other earthquake? Because it was like one hit. And there was like
were you in the
Oh, it
middle
was-
of masturbating? Totally close to
We were
her
FaceTiming.
Weird, I
We were
know.
FaceTiming.
Ew, stop.
Wrong direction.
Whatever, dude. So it's never felt like a single hit before,
Well,
and then it rolled a little bit
yes.
afterwards. No, it usually is like a rumble.
No, my
No, I've-
experience was like my one experience. I've been in two. One was the rumble that you're talking about. One was I thought a truck hit the
Yeah.
apartment.
Is that when I was gone? When I was on tour? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Didn't like
I
it.
It was
felt
weird.
both, but for me, I was still up. What night did that happen?
I don't know. It was the worst night of my
Last
life when it
week?
happened. It was about a week ago.
Yeah, about a week.
I'm trying to think of the night.
Does
So
it matter?
Why I don't know if I worked or not, but I was still up.
I feel
And
like it was a Thursday, and you usually work on Thursdays, right?
yeah, so I was still up and I was laying in bed, eating fucking peppermints or something. And I remember that because I was like, yeah, see, this is what happens. This is what happens when you eat late at night.
God,
Like,
again.
God's
Right
like,
up in
put that
there.
peppermint away. But I was sitting there, and to me, it felt deeper. Like it felt like it was like a
Dan might agree with that.
right.
was-
Like it felt.
No, it didn't feel like to me. It just felt like
Oh, it felt
like a
deeper to me.
Volkswagen bumped into the couch is what it
But
felt
I
like.
felt that before in these. I've been
Yeah,
in
me-
a few, in a bunch, I guess, so
that
far.
was the
But
first for me,
then-
and I hated
But
it.
then that happened, and you never know if it's the big one or not.
so this
so I-
was January 25th
Day of the
at
week.
2 a.m.
What day of the week is that?
I'm letting you know,
ASAP.
and it was a Wednesday.
Yeah, I worked. So and I got up and got some water, and I laid back down. Fucking aftershock was even. It was as big. It was like I think it was like a 3.5 or 3.8.
The other night?
Yeah, there
you
was an aftershock afterwards.
You said the same thing, D.
No, the aftershock, the after thing was like within a minute. It was that rolling feeling, but there was no other big hit.
That is part of the earthquake. That is the earthquake. That's like.
No, I
that's
know,
part
but
of it.
the bang hit thing only happened once because I was up for a couple hours. I
Right,
didn't
and
feel
then
it.
there is an aftershock was probably like.
Do you think maybe you fell out
10
of bed?
minutes later.
Maybe
no,
you fell out of bed?
No, I know. No, it was 10 minutes afterwards, and it was another, but like, and it just went like shook my bed, and I was like, oh my god, stop.
Oh, I didn't feel that one.
Yeah, in fact, people were saying that they felt the aftershock more than the first one. And did you know 5
Well,
years
maybe
ago?
maybe the one that I felt was the
Was
aftershock
Maybe.
because that was like it was violent.
Well, no, that was the first one because it happened like 209 or 207, 210. But
203.
did you know that 5 years ago on the same date, same time, it happened?
Of course, I know that. Who doesn't know that? Everyone knows that. No, I had no idea.
Same, a 4.7 or whatever.
And this one was in Malibu?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Was there any like damage in Malibu?
I think they were checking on it, but it was in
Listen,
the water.
everybody, pray for Malibu. Those guys need your prayers.
But it was in the water. And have you noticed?
Oh, here, wait. Go ahead. Get ready.
No, this isn't like this.
Oh, I want
It's
to
not
play
like
it though.
that?
Okay, fine.
So in Studio City, was it Studio City? No. In Sherman Oaks. I've never seen these signs ever before. And my friend that lives there has never seen them. There are tsunami signs up now. Did you see that?
No.
What the actual fuck? There are tsunami signs that say
Are they blue?
Yeah, it's like the white with the blue, and it says like go this way for a tsunami, and it has like an arrow. Stop! Don't put. It's not because it's
No,
not.
I actually think those have been there for a long time.
Well, the ones that we saw
Are new?
haven't. Yeah, they're
Okay.
brand new.
We are winding down as Californians.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true.
Pretty soon, you, me, Darren, Todd will all be underwater. Swimming for our lives, and I, because I have asthma, will drown quickly.
Oh, what?
What?
You think that'll happen? Well, I watched too many of those movies, like the.
It is a fact that at some point California is going to be underwater. It's
Like how many years?
there's no it's unpredictable. So my best friend is a geologist. What's the guys that do earthquakes?
Well, I don't
And
know. Like seismologist probably.
yeah, he's like a ground
A
expert
smart-ass
and
dude.
is way into earthquakes and studies earthquakes and goes to active volcanoes and fault lines. And
Have you seen the documentary about the people in New Zealand?
no, not yet.
Okay.
But he said that one of the big myths is like when people say in California, "Oh, we're due for an earthquake." That's not a thing. There's no like due. Just because it's been a long time doesn't mean it's happening soon.
Right.
The earthquakes are not on schedules. But because of the fault lines and the way the West Coast is, that at some point, Washington, Oregon, and California, it will 100% be underwater. And it could happen any moment. It could happen in 1,000 years, but it is absolutely happening. And it will be from a tsunami. There'll be an earthquake either in the ocean or right by the coast. And he said 100-foot wave will come in, 50.
Are you being serious right now?
I swear to God, 100-foot wave that will go for 100 miles and then pull the whole West Coast into the ocean. That is going to happen at some point.
Okay, I gotta get the fuck out of here. That's hence why I'm cleaning out my closet.
Pack that box,
Yep.
girl.
But it's crazy shit. It's crazy shit.
Wait a second. So any minute this could happen.
It could. But again, it could happen in 1,000 years. But the way that the crust is and the way the fault lines go, it's inevitable. It will happen at some point. And like the Tool song about "See You Down in Arizona Bay," like Arizona will be a coastal state at some point.
Maybe I'll buy some land there.
Yeah, and then that'll go at some point too. But you make sure you get the right spot because
I gotta get back.
It doesn't
to
start.
I gotta get back to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Man.
Wisconsin,
Yeah.
dude.
Christ.
Yeah, it's crazy shit. Crazy shit.
Remember when we talked about I'm segueing into a whole different thing. Of course.
That's what we do here. We don't
Of
do one
course.
subject the whole time.
Sorry.
You want to hear the? Should we do the segue sound?
Sure. Do you remember when we talked about Zach Galifinakis?
course.
Okay.
When he was on Conan talking about moving the couch and all that.
Yeah. So I was at a little burger joint in West Hollywood.
Are you looking at
Did
the
I
machine
tell
because
you
you're
this
afraid I'm gonna hit
story?
the button?
Yeah, I was like waiting for.
I won't do it. Since you're not feeling well, you get the night off from the name drop song.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I'm.
Heidi's
That's all you get. I feel it coming. So but go
Well,
ahead.
in the story on Conan, he called me a lady.
Yeah,
didn't
he
even
said
say my
this
fucking
lady
name.
and her uncle was Tony Shalhoub. Yeah, it
And
was
then
funny.
he said it was a couch. Like
was
what? How? It was not a couch.
For the sake of his story, your name doesn't matter and what was being moved doesn't matter, but the story was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there
Wait, where are you? I'm sorry.
at this little. It's called Irv's.
Okay. I mean, what is it?
Fucking, it's a
Coffee shop or restaurant?
burger joint
Okay.
that's been there since 1946, but then they went away and they came back. I saw a friend of mine post it on Instagram, and I thought about it for 2 fucking days. 2 days I thought about it, and I finally went. And it's worth the hype. It's so good. Anyhow, so I'm sitting there and I like look over, and I'm with my boyfriend.
Oh, he took a break from his gallivanting, from his jet setting.
And so I'm looking and I'm like, hey, is that Zach Galifinakis? And I don't think he even sort of knew. He's like, I don't know. And it was, I hadn't seen him in, honestly, for fucking, I don't know, for 13 years. And I was like, that looks like him. And then we see this guy walk past and go, hey, I'm a fan. And I was like, oh, that's him.
Was he bearded up in the whole thing?
He had a mustache on.
Okay.
And like his hair. So I go outside and I'm like, Zach. And I knew like he like was looking at me and he goes, hi. And I was like, hi, it's Heidi. And he goes, hey. And he still didn't know who I was. And I'm like,
Did you think that he would?
yeah, we spent a lot of time together.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
oh,
we
it
weren't
wasn't
best
just
friends.
the one time. Okay.
No, like we would go out for drinks and I'd go to his place with his friends and we'd play games and like, I don't know, I spent time with him.
That's a
But
name rememberer.
Right, but he did allegedly smoke a lot of pot, like Sarah Silverman and all his friends. So maybe his memory isn't the best.
He's a drug head?
No,
She's such a drug head.
it's not a drug. So,
You heard it first, guys. Zach Galifinakis,
no,
official druggie.
Stop, take that out.
It stayed in. Put it right back in.
So he's looking at me and I go, Zach, it's Heidi, Tony Shalhoub's niece. And he goes, oh my God. And he's like, how are you? And I'm like, I'm good. I'm like, he's kind of a recluse too. Like
Yeah.
he's kind of like he
He seems like an eccentric.
yeah,
Yep.
very much so. And I said, I heard I said, so I have a podcast. And he goes, what's it called? And I told him, and I go, we were talking about you because you were on the Conan telling this story. And he goes, oh my God, you heard that? I'm like, yeah, of course. It was sent to me. And he goes, I'm sorry, I didn't remember your name. And I'm like, it's okay. You called me a lady, so at least it wasn't some broad or something.
But
like,
lady is such a funny word. It's a really funny word.
Bitch or something like that.
Him
Like,
too. I feel
yeah,
like it fits.
lady. And he goes, I'm sorry, I didn't remember. I'm like, it's okay. And I said, it wasn't a couch. He goes, it wasn't? I go, no, it was your grandmother's like huge, heavy dresser drawers. He was like, oh. And he goes, but the funniest part was he's like, who the hell says I'm coming with my uncle tomorrow to pick up this piece of furniture? And he's like, and I open the door and it's like my idol is standing there. Tony, like, who does that? You should have said, hey. And then he's like, and then I couldn't find my shoe. I'm like, yeah, you couldn't find your shoe. You had your shirt off. Your hair was like all over the place. He's like, yeah, I'd been up like all night or so. I'd been working on something. Yeah.
He found one shoe but couldn't find the other shoe?
He couldn't find matching shoes.
Oh.
So he had a pair
So
of
he's
flip flops
missing-
on and a pair like a tennis shoe on one shoe and a flip flop on the other one. It honestly was
So perfect for him.
It was. I told him, I said, it was one of the funniest moments of my life. And he's like, me too. It was so funny. I had to share it on the podcast.
That's
or whatever.
great.
God.
And then we talked and I still have his number. And so I texted him and
Oh, that's great.
because I want him to come. But he said that he lives in like the cars were going past on this road on Santa Monica. And he was kind of going like this. And he goes, I don't like... I said, "Where are you still?"
Isn't he living in the middle of nowhere?
Well, he was living in
Like Nebraska or
he had
Wyoming
a
or some
farm
shit?
in North Carolina,
Okay.
like this beautiful farm. And I said, "You still there?" And he goes, "No." He's like, I live in the middle of
Can we
nowhere."
say? Does it?
Oh, maybe I shouldn't say.
Yeah, I
it.
wouldn't say it. Don't say it.
Yeah.
If it's not public, I wouldn't say it.
Yeah. No, he lives in the sticks somewhere.
Wow.
And he's like, I'm just with my family and just my wife and kids, and
Is he
I'm
working?
not
I
used
haven't
to
seen him
this.
much.
Yeah,
things lately.
he's out here doing something.
Is Baskets coming back?
I don't think so because of Louis Anderson.
We've said on this show so many times, but that was, I really believe
love
this,
that show.
the most brilliant casting what a choice to hire Louis Anderson to play
So cool.
Zach's mom. Like Mama Baskets was
And
just
my friend was the
brilliant.
costume designer on it, and she said that it was just the best show.
I believe it.
Louis was like a dream.
That was really like the best casting I've ever seen.
Yeah,
So fucking good.
but I thought that was funny that I saw him.
That's great.
I love that.
If you get him on here, you know, it's gonna be pretty lucrative for you. I'm gonna start paying you for guests.
I wish. I'm trying to get people to join the YouTube because I need the money.
Yeah,
my fucking health insurance.
We're about 300 down. We need 300 more.
My fucking. Do you? Oh my god.
Give another soft pitch while we're here.
I can't pay my rent this month because
Not a sad pitch, but like, you know.
I can't pay my rent this month because my health insurance was. They added 200 more bucks to it.
Yeah.
And took it out on my bank account.
To your rent or your insurance?
My insurance. So weird.
200 extra a month?
200.
They didn't give you a letter in like October.
They might have. I don't remember. Probably not.
They always do. Sorry.
Yeah, they sent 5 of them, but like, who reads that shit?
I mean, come on.
How dare them?
They did it without even telling me that I paid attention to.
Guys, we gotta get. So you know the rule. Heidi, tell them what the stipulation is.
Go to YouTube, Rareform Radio.
Yep.
YouTube.com. Is there a .com anywhere? Does anybody ever do www?
Every website is .com. So what you say is,
go to YouTube.
I'm gonna feed it to you, and then you can say it's youtube.com/rareformradio.
YouTube.com/.
Let's start over.
Go to youtube.com/rareformradio and subscribe, please.
Why?
Because if we get to 1,000, I will be paid $1,000.
Yes. So if we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, Heidi gets $1,000 Casharoonie or Venmo. So we got to do that. And I really do want to give that to you. But I'm not going to give it to you unless that happens. But if you get Zach in here,
ooh,
$500.
I don't know if he would do that.
He won't. 100%.
No, he's so.
I'll start paying you for guests though. If you can get cool guests,
it's not that.
I'll pay you for guests.
Okay. I can try and get.
You're supposed to say you don't have to pay me for guests. It's my show.
Oh yeah, no, I was just gonna. I didn't even like hear that. I was thinking actually about the people that I could get in here.
Do it. I mean, unless
listen,
you can do it unless you don't want the show to grow. Then just don't even bother. You know?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
but we do it. I have been talking to some guests lately. People that want to come in here. There's a couple that one particular that will be such a trip to get in here. It'll be like being on a different planet.
A girl or a boy?
A man. It's a 4-year-old kid I found outside. Bring him in. No, it's one of the most eclectic. I spent a day with this person once in 2003.
Weird Al?
No, this person. I don't know how to express because I don't want to be.
Is he a comic?
No, but he's hilarious, but doesn't realize it. It's someone who, if they were on Howard Stern, they would be in the Whack Pack. But this person, I'll tell you off the air, but it's pretty cool. Anyway, did you know? Subject change. Did you guys know that testicles have taste buds?
I did know that actually.
You did?
Isn't that what all the little things are on it?
What?
Like your tongue. It looks like the tongue.
On what?
On your testicles. Ball sack.
I get it.
And you do?
I like where your mind's at.
Yeah, like
it's
it
called
has,
the
like,
brain.
all those-
A sack looks like a brain.
No, but it also has these little tiny these little dots on it.
Aren't those
like
hair fall?
Perhaps.
That you put on your tongue?
No, like
I get
it looks like on your tongue, your
I
taste
get it.
buds.
I get it.
You guys are a couple of ball hogs in here. Gross.
I get it.
No, they're inside your testicles. Like inside your balls.
What do they taste?
I don't know.
And
just
how
cum.
does somebody know that?
Well, doctor, science.
Really?
Oh, you're anti-science. I forgot. Really? Oh, boy.
No, but anti-science. You know what's so funny? Hold on.
Good.
Hold on.
This story is
Science.
real. I can tell by the way that I feel.
There are taste buds inside testicles. test bee buds, tasticles. What are you doing?
Hold on.
Okay. Going on
texting.
OAN to find some news stories.
No. Science. The systematic study of the structure and behavior of the physical natural world through observation, experimentation, and the testing of theories against the evidence obtained. Let me say that again. The testing of theories against the evidence obtained. Also, knowledge of any kind.
Knowledge of any kind is science? That's not
the
correct.
definition of science. I'm just saying that
Why didn't you just read the definition?
because you say I don't believe in science.
That was a joke.
Of course I do.
I know that you do. On this show, sometimes we tell really dumb jokes.
It's a really dumb joke. Anyhow, but who's sitting there like, oh, I wonder if the fucking ball sack has fucking taste buds.
Scientists, when they dissect
Some
balls.
crazy scientists. It's like,
No, when you're dissecting
see?
balls, you're like, what are
who's
these?
gonna dissect a ball?
Why are these balls full of tongues? These little tiny tongues.
No, but seriously, why would?
Let's see. Why?
Well, I
do
can't get out of my head the fact that I just saw how caviar is taken out of a fish, and I do not like it at all.
how they're squeezed out and like put. Have you seen the guy? Have you seen the fucking guy who squeezes them out of the fish into his mouth?
Nope,
We're gonna-
because caviar is my favorite thing. You know this, right?
course.
On
Who
my
doesn't know?
birthday, it's like my favorite fucking thing. And when I was in New York at my cousin's baby shower, they had these tiny little potatoes that were hollowed out and little creme fraiche with caviar on top of them. Oh my God. I ate like 20 of them. Like the guy kept coming around. I'd be like, oh, what's this? It was a joke.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Some studies speculate that taste buds influence male gamete, Gamete, gamete physiology, or sperm motility and function. Other studies suggest that the presence of these receptors, particularly the bitter taste receptors, allows sperm cells to detect noxious substance in their environment.
Oh, so your sperm cells can't
Yes, because I have no taste buds.
bitter.
I have no bitter taste buds.
What?
So now I'm going to show you this guy eating caviar directly out of the fish.
I'll throw up.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the woman in Hawaii? They just moved in like 4 months ago and the boulder came crashing into
I
their
saw
home.
it today.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
If she would have been
A woman
2 inches more.
She was walking into her living room, and this fucking boulder the size of your car just goes right through the fucking house. And they have the ring.
And she was like, oh! Like,
they have video in there.
It missed her by like that much.
It was fucking crazy. Where's the guy squeezing the fish into his
I
mouth?
don't know, but it was.
No one needs to
It's
see
too much. I don't like
How-
it.
what his name is?
Wait, why would? What is? Why do?
Oh, the Liver King.
What is? Why do balls have to have taste buds?
I just told you why.
They need to detect.
I literally just told you why. Are you with
their
us?
sperm because of their sperm. I
What?
don't understand.
What?
You used very big scientific words.
That's what I do.
Inoculate.
No. Where the fuck is this thing? Damn it, all this shit. Anyway, it's a video of a guy putting fucking
Oh no.
caviar, squeezing it into his lips.
I have a really good show for you guys to watch. Poker Face.
My poker face, my poker face.
God, it's so good.
What
My
is
poker
It's
face.
Natasha Lyonne,
Oh, she's great.
and it's on Paramount Plus, and they put out like 5 episodes.
We don't have.
Oh, just get it. It's like $5.
Well, we're gonna have to soon
Okay.
because I have Showtime, and Showtime is being absorbed into Paramount.
Oh, is that so?
And you need to have Paramount Plus. It's called Paramount Plus with Showtime. It's just everything's becoming one.
There's a
Please
lot of
get
good
it.
stuff
There's
on it,
so
yeah.
much stuff on it. And there's like new movies on it. Like Nope, before it came out anywhere, was on there.
Okay.
But Poker Face, and she plays a girl.
Oh, good
that-
start.
I mean, you never know these days.
Yeah.
And she identifies as a woman.
Well, you have to
Movie.
play. You can't act as something that you're not. So
That's true. That's
we
true.
all know that.
True.
Anyway.
And she can tell if you're lying or not. So you just gotta watch it. Starts out that she works in a casino, and she sort of solves a murder in the first episode, and then she's on the run. And so each episode, a murder happens, and she solves it in one way or another. It is the coolest fucking show.
So it's like Russian Doll, but instead of dying every episode, she solves a murder. It's a new murder she wrote.
Yeah, but it's just fucking cool. It's
Okay, I'm in.
good.
Cool.
We got
love it.
someone on our Patreon commented, and they wanted us to discuss without spoiling. Did you watch the last episode of The Last of Us?
Yes.
Episode 3?
Yes.
Do you agree with society that was one of the best hours of television you've seen in years?
The best.
Without spoiling anything.
Without spoiling anything, I enjoyed it. I cried.
Yeah.
I teared up.
Yep.
I thought it was beautiful.
Beautiful is the best word for it, I think.
And then the next day I read all the shit that people are like, I wasn't that. But I also watched the very end of it and how the writer said that they are trying to decide when to divert the game. So when to sort of like tell.
This episode did.
Yeah. And Nick Offerman I fucking love him so much. And Pedro
Pascal.
he will soon be my ex-husband.
Cool. So he'll be your husband
him.
first.
Yeah.
And then
Are you divorced real quick?
he's a handsome
I
dude.
don't know. Oh, I love him so much.
No,
I
he
loved
is.
him from Nick Cage movie.
You know what he is? We talked about that last week. He's a good masculine man.
Yeah.
You know? But Nick Offerman, without saying too much, the role he had in The Last of Us episode 3 was, I hate the term brave or whatever, but it was just such a departure from anything he's done.
Yep.
Where it's like, oh, okay.
I can't believe he's in it.
Now you wait till you see what he
I haven't
does
seen the
in the
episode
show.
yet.
Have you?
Not
Okay.
yet.
Wait till you see what his role is in it.
There
It's
was
fucking incredible.
A part of me at the beginning of it though that I was like, is this what's in the game? Like that's
sort of.
But yeah,
So-
so then I heard about it that there's actually his characters in it, but that other thing
The
is
way-
gone, and so they made it
Yeah.
so the backstory of it.
When you
and
meet
stuff.
him in the game,
right?
episode 3 of the show had already happened. It was like in
Yeah.
the past, and it was a different scenario.
Yeah.
But are
But
you
then
listening to the podcast?
No. What
So
podcast?
there's a Last of Us podcast. So every week after the show drops, there's a podcast that does a deep dive into the episode, and they talk to the creator and the guy that played Joel in the video game is in it, and they talk about those departures and choices that were made. It's pretty neat.
I feel sad that woman died because I loved her in the Vampire Diaries. Annie,
Spoiler alert.
No one dies. No one dies.
No, in real life. She's,
Oh,
she's a voice in the video game.
The woman who played Tess in the video game.
Yeah, no, I would never say about
Died
the
in
show.
real life.
I fucking hate people that do
Yeah.
that. I hate that.
Died in real life.
In real life.
Yep.
And she did the voice of, I don't know who.
Tess.
Oh, she did do the
Yep.
And she was in the Vampire Diaries.
Oh,
so
your
that
favorite.
Well, my
Yeah.
condolences, Heidi. We know how you feel about the
tie-in.
Vampire
was.
Diaries.
She played
tie-in.
when she played the mom of.
I'm willing to bet there hasn't been a podcast out there that talks about the Vampire Diaries as much as we have.
Well,
it's
I
good.
mean, you know.
It's worth it.
Yep. It's cool to bring up shows like it's kind of like what Kushner and Dre did with.
Sopranos.
That's kind of what we do with
Yeah,
the Vampire
totally,
Diaries,
Vampire
except you're the
Diaries.
only one that's seen it.
But I mean, she was so young, 45. Fuck, she was so beautiful.
Yep.
Oh, horrible.
Yep.
But
Let's do some listener questions. What do you think?
Okay.
And then we'll get out of here.
sure.
Let's see here.
I feel better now that I'm out.
Good. You want to do another hour?
Sure.
Rare Form Radio.
All right.
Please leave a message after the tone.
Let's see here. Okay, this is from Shane.
Hey everybody, what was your guys' first bass? Mine was a BC Rich 4-string.
Before we answer, one thing I love about Shane is his delivery each time is like, "Hey, I have a really great question. What do you guys think of this?" It's such a it's almost Shane. Don't be bummed out that we ask you to send in questions. It's okay, just be comfortable, man. It's cool. I'm joking, but it's funny. What was your first bass?
No one's laughing.
No. We're sorry about him.
Hey
Shane.
guys, what was your first
That's just
bass?
how he fucking talks.
I know. I'm
it.
fucking joking.
God.
Well, now
Sorry,
he's gonna get
Shane.
insecure. Sorry.
Mine was just a little P bass that they bought for me at music
Who's they?
Yeah.
on my band because we were on tour and I was like, that's it. I don't want to be the backup girl anymore, the dancer. I want to fucking play bass.
Had you ever played bass before?
Nope.
What?
No, and they taught me the guitar. The guitar.
The guitar.
Oh my god, I'm speaking Irish. Guitar player bought me it. They bought it with like our merch money. So it was like it was a P bass. It was a what kind was it?
I mean, a P bass. I mean, that's what it is. A Fender P bass.
A Fender P bass. Yeah.
Where is it?
It's at my mom and dad's house.
You got some. I want to see that
Cool.
thing.
Yeah. And so I got that, and then I listened to, with headphones, I listened to the Stooges, the first album, and then I listened to the Cars. And I just listened to the bass lines over and over again, and
Can
he
you
taught
still
me
play?
A little bit. I'm not a novice bass player, so I'm
your
not
first
like,
time playing bass. Your first time playing bass in front of a crowd was on tour.
Jesus.
Weird. Did you play anything before that?
I played
Piano or anything?
Yeah.
Oh, that helps.
Piano. It helped a lot.
So you had a little bit of understanding
Yeah.
of notes and bass lines, kind
Yeah.
of interesting.
and I have good rhythm, so that helps a lot.
Girls got rhythm. My first bass was a PV Foundation 4-string bass that my I had on layaway, and my older brother came to visit me from California. I hadn't seen him in a bunch of years, and I was 12. So he was like in his mid-20s, and he came and he took me to the music store, and he paid off the rest of the bass. So I got to go home with it.
I don't know that I knew that.
Yeah. And I think that bass is at my mom's. I need to get it back. But do you remember the Metallica box set that came out in the early 90s?
Of course, yeah.
Live Shit, Binge and Purge.
Yep.
It came with a stencil of like the Metallica. They had like a different kind of logo back then, but I stenciled that in red on the back of my bass. I need to get that bass back.
Wow.
But my first real bass was a Fender P bass from my dad that I got on Christmas, which I still have, and I played for live for years and years and years.
Yeah, I think back then it was like $250 for
Yeah.
little bass like that.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
What else do we have here?
What do they cost now?
What do they cost now? An American P bass.
Do you remember?
Did you
What
go
was it?
whitewater?
Ralph.
Rafting? Wait, but what do they cost now?
A couple grand,
Oh,
or you
fuck.
can get like a Mexican P bass, which is just assembled in Mexico for like, I don't know, $700-800,
Wow.
$900.
Big difference.
You can get Squire basses, which is like the
Like Billy
very
Squire?
low version, the lower version of Fender for $300 or $400, but
Okay.
they're not
Wow,
great.
so like to start playing
Damn.
bass is it?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
All right, thank you for that, Shane. We got a couple more questions here.
I love Billy Squire.
I don't know that I do. Does he stroke me?
Yeah, but he that song, you got the mono.
Yeah.
That's
That's catchy. That's catchy.
Come around.
This one comes
song is
from. I don't know. I don't know what it's called. Is that like a humdinger? Remember humdingers from what's that? What's that board game where you can sculpt clay and you can answer trivia and you do rhyme? That's categories.
No, cranium.
Cranium.
Oh, I never played that. I probably would like that.
Darren with the cranium. All right. Neil, our buddy Neil writes in and he says, with Iggy Pop releasing a fucking amazing album with an incredible group of backing musicians, who would be in your ultimate musical supergroup? Bonus points if your group has either Dan or Heidi on bass. It definitely doesn't. What would be your ultimate supergroup? So let's just do one guitar, bass, drums, singer.
You go first.
Okay.
This is gonna be super group.
Drummer would be, and anyone in history, right? Doesn't have to be alive. Anyone in history.
Oh, it's gonna be a dull tour if they're dead.
All the best ones are pretty much gone.
Let's do alive.
What?
Let's do alive. Wait, what does it say?
Alive?
With an incredible group of backing musicians.
My
who
favorite
would be
singer's dead.
Still alive.
alive.
Alive?
It's harder that way.
All right.
It could come true.
Let's start with Dave Grohl on drums.
Hmm.
He's the best one out there. Let's go with, I'm gonna go Eric Avery from Jane's on bass. He's my favorite all time. Guitar player. I don't know. Can you help me? Who's start? You do one, Heidi. I mean, Navarro's a great guitar player, but having him and Eric both doesn't seem like it should be. That's not right.
Drummer, I would do my buddy from Machine Head, Dave McClain. 'Cause he's
Okay.
fucking phenomenal.
Okay.
But like that, like the
Double bass?
yeah.
Okay. You sounded just like it just then, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like you're dropping a box. Shit, this is hard.
Guitar player, Monty Pittman. You've seen him play guitar, right?
Yeah, he shreds.
Yeah.
He rips.
Fucking phenomenal. Him or oh my god, maybe Steve Stevens.
That's a good one.
He's so good.
Okay.
Bass player. Bass. This is hard. Bass. I can't think of anything.
I might take
Bass player.
for guitar player. What? What do you got?
Jack guy from Smash, or the Jack from Smashing Pumpkins.
Bates?
Bass. Yeah, he's
Fuck
really
yeah.
good bass player.
Yeah, nice
I
one.
enjoyed watching him.
And who's singing for your band? Aretha Franklin.
No, she's dead.
Fuck.
Listen, I
I'm listening, Heidi.
have never had such a good time. Never had such a good time. I was
That's
worded
right.
wrong.
No, that's right.
Than watching Perry Farrell. I've never seen them live before. So that, like,
You saw a really good show.
oh.
You saw a really good show.
But wait, I won't do him just because he's.
Oh, you can you can use him. I might pick Tom Morello on guitar. So Grohl, Eric Avery, Tom Morello,
Damn.
or maybe you know who's a really really good guitar player? Billy Corgan. So having him just playing guitar might be kind of a cool thing.
Oh,
No, I'm changing it.
he's so tall.
I'm changing it. Dave Grohl, Eric Avery, Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains,
Ooh.
and the singer is
Danzig.
not coming to me. No, but that's interesting. But no, definitely not him. Fucking A. I don't know. This is a hard question.
I like that guy from Manskin. What's that? What are they called? Manskin?
Who knows?
Uh,
I have a curveball for you.
lead
Dave Grohl,
singer.
Eric Avery, Tom Morello, and Pat Benatar.
What about Corey?
No, not quite. Not right for what I have in mind.
Okay.
For my favorite band,
Okay.
Corey's a good choice, but no.
Lead singer.
Pat Benatar.
Jeez.
Ozzy's my choice.
Oh.
Peak Ozzy might be my
Yeah.
choice. And just because I really wanted to use Dead People, Lane Staley would have been my singer of choice
100%.
Yeah.
without
for
any
sure.
question whatsoever.
So
So you need. Did you
I need a singer.
Did you pick a guitar player? Monty. Okay. Who's your bass player?
Jack.
Oh yeah. Who's your singer? You got me going. dum.
I mean, I would love to be the singer, but let's see. The singer.
Bonus points. Oh, no, if you were on bass.
For bass, yeah, that doesn't work that way.
Singer would be, gosh, maybe like Jack White or Jack Black.
Just any kind of Jack. You want multiple
know,
Jacks
I
in the
can't-
band.
Maybe
I'm
Jack
trying to think of
Nicholson.
who I
Jack
was
White's a good one.
listening to, like,
That's a cool guitar player too. Choice.
maybe like Ludacris or Jay-Z or something. Like,
Okay.
I would pick Jay-Z. How's that? And
Okay.
that's like a rap metal
That'd be
group.
dope.
Okay,
There we
Man,
go.
I like that.
I'm fucking
Yeah.
in.
I like that. What about
Yeah.
Eminem?
Oh, I love Eminem.
That could be a ripping guitar, ripping
Yeah.
rock band front singer.
Yep.
Front singer, front man. Okay, we'll do one more question. Let's get out of here. Okay.
Okay.
This is from our buddy Lee, who is
Lee?
from your homeland.
Ireland.
Yep. And as a matter of fact,
Ireland.
I want you
It's
to
pretty good,
read
actually.
the question.
Oh, yeah.
Read the question in your best Irish accent.
Have you seen the
The question is right here.
misdemeanor? A banshee.
Here you go. Not yet.
Oh, no,
Not
we
yet.
were just talking about
There
that.
you go.
No.
Hey, all. My question is, have any of you got any experience with Scientology?
What? Scientology? The Church of Scientology?
I know its biggest following is in the USA. I noticed Heidi sharing posts about the Golden Globes mention of the leaders.
You say Heidi's hairy puss?
Shelley Miscavige.
Can I stop you for 1 second?
I've been a long time activist against Scientology in Ireland. Oh my God, that is like, I'm hearing like, it's insane.
You
Ireland.
have never been worse. This is
There's so many words.
Hold on.
find your key and then say Ireland.
Ireland. That's really good. Is it not good?
I am not even for humor.
Ireland.
I'm not trying to be funny. If I was trying to guess the accent you were doing, I would have no idea.
It's a part of Ireland that hasn't. People don't. Oh, it's small, tiny.
Ireland is small, but anyway.
So it's how small it is.
Can you start from the beginning and rip through the question in one go?
In my Irish accent.
Absolutely.
Well, we want to understand the question.
Yeah.
Hey all, my question is, have any of you got any experience with Scientology? I know its biggest following is in the USA. I noticed Heidi sharing posts about the Golden Globes.
Globes? What the fuck? It's so insulting.
Get it.
Golden Globes? Thomas? What the fuck are you doing over there? This is a paying supporter of ours, and you're shitting all over his country.
Oh my God, that didn't mean to come out like that.
Golden Globes?
I'm sick. I noticed Heidi sharing posts about the Golden Globes mention of the leader's missing wife.
The leader's missing wife. Okay.
Shelley Miscavige. I've been a long time activist against Scientology in Ireland.
So piratey.
I just think I say that so good. Ireland. And the cult is a particularly topic of interest for me. So just wondering your thoughts or possible experiences. Love to you all, your friend, Lee Walker.
Sorry, Lee.
Ireland.
You have lost whatever work
love
you
and
put into this.
feeling.
Your mom that told you before it was good is not gonna like this one. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit.
I'm sorry.
Holy shit.
I haven't been practicing, but I've been
we
watching
noticed.
Bad Sisters and the something of
God.
Irish, the Banshees of Ireland. What is that movie called?
No one knows
Happerddiddle.
the name.
So,
Abersheen.
do you have any experience with Scientology?
Oh yeah.
I think he's
Lots.
asking what that would be.
Oh, my experience is that when I first moved here, I lived down the street from the beautiful place on Franklin,
The
and
Celebrity Center.
Yeah, and
Which it really is called that, by the way.
Yeah, and it was an old hotel that had like Marilyn Monroe with not Marilyn Monroe, like in the 30s and 40s, so all the greats back then. It's gorgeous in there.
Yeah.
And I needed a job when I went in there. I kind of knew sort of about Scientology, but I moved here 2003, so it wasn't as I didn't know it was a big cult. I grew up in a cult.
You didn't know it was a...
Not really. I thought that they believed in aliens, and I was like, that was kind of cool.
Yep.
So I went in there and I took a tour. They gave me a tour, and I said, "Oh, I really need a job." And they needed a brunch server, and it's gorgeous in there. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then the time I was there, I saw a celebrity that was in there, and I was like, "Oh, this is so fucking cool!" Like, all right. And I said, "What's the how many days a week do you need a server?" And they said, "Oh, this day and this day, it's $150 a week." And I go, $150 a week? and that's how much they pay you. You don't get tips. You don't. So that sort of was like, that's weird. And then I heard from somebody else, like, well, they don't pay you. Like that's how you get roped in there.
They offer you other services and readings and.
So then I went to go see what classes they had, and I had met a couple actors who said they have a really great class that you should take. It builds your confidence, and it's an acting class. Well,
Is that what did you use their dialect coach for your Irish accent?
Yeah,
pretty
Ireland. But they have the Beverly Hills Theater Center. It's called. It's not that. It's Beverly Hills something, and that's a Scientology place. Okay. You would never know. But the teacher, he's a famous theater. What the fuck is the name of that? I'll think of it. But they had a class in this place. And so I went in and I talked to this guy and I said, okay, I want to know, like, I'm sure it's too much money for this class, not the theater class, but this other one to build your confidence. Mm-hmm. And he goes, well, no, it's $45. I was like, oh, wow. All right. So I said, well, what do I have to do am I like roped into something like I was very, very like, I grew up in a cult. I don't need anything like that. I just wanted
They love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to sign a stack of papers like this big. Of course, I didn't read any of it. And I signed it and I started classes there. So my first thing that right before the class, it was Christmas time, and they had an event outside. So I went to this little event and there wasn't that many people in it. And when you sat in a chair with your feet on the ground, and then you had to go. You had to do all these things, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? It was some weird clapping thing that they did, and I was like, oh, this is really bizarre. And that was it. I didn't think anything of it, though, because I grew up with Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, of course.
So then my first day of this class, I went in, and they said, well, we want to do damn it, I forget what it's called, but you go into a room and
clearing.
Yeah. And you put your hands on these metal devices, and they have this trained professional. E-meter. And you go over a horrible event in your life.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, geez, I don't know. They're like, well, what's an event?
You're like, I don't know, all of it?
Yeah, like, where do I fucking start? So I went through this car accident in Chicago that I was in that was really awful. I was like,
the one you came out of the car?
Trapped in the car, jaws of life had to open me up, like not me up, but the car up.
Okay.
My balls have taste buds.
Not anymore.
And so I went through that, and so I had to go through it. I had to close my eyes and go through it, every step, everything. And they said at the end of this, you won't have any memories of it, or like it won't be as like hard.
It won't be the PTSD, the trauma will be gone from it,
right?
Because it's like exposure therapy. You think about it more and more, and then it hurts less.
Yeah, well, I have to say, it kind of worked. And then I did these classes once a day for 2 weeks. I had a lot of time on my hands, I guess. So I went in, and my husband at the time, my late husband, actually said, "Wow, you can really tell a difference in you, because they taught you how not to react to things, but they used all parts of the Kabbalah. They used all these other things. And I actually was like, it was helping me. I went there, I had a community, and then it started. Then I remember I ended that class and I started another one, which I was getting calls up until like 3 years ago of them saying, hey, you still have a class to go through. But it was over, and they called me once over and over and over again until I threatened them and said, I'm going to fucking call my lawyer, and then they stopped. But anyhow, I went into a bookstore that was in this place. Now, I didn't know anybody in the bookstore. I didn't give my name. They didn't have my ID, nothing. And the woman goes, hey, there's an event this evening. We're showing a movie about blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, yeah, I can't go. I have to work or whatever. And she was like, you sure? And I was like, yeah, thank you, though. And I looked at some books and I walked out of there. I got home. The phone rang. it was them. And they're like, hey, so we have you down for 2 tonight. And I was like, what? And they said, oh, well, so-and-so from the bookstore said that you said, yeah, that you've come to this thing. And I was like, what the how the fuck did she get? And so I realized that they have cameras everywhere.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And microphones. And I was like, this is so fucking bizarre.
Yeah.
What is happening? And then in the very basement of this place, they have a rehab center. So they don't believe in going to an actual rehab place. They take care of you there. And a friend of mine from Wisconsin flew out, and she actually passed away a few years ago, but she was a really bad alcoholic. And she went in there to do her rehab, and she almost fucking died.
I believe
it was awful. So anyhow, so that's my experience with that. I stopped because as soon as they said, hey, we have you down, and I was like, how do you that creeped me out. There was some
it's terrifying.
all the rest of this stuff didn't creep me out with the clapping and all the other shit, but that creeped me out because I was like, what? And then it was like, no matter where I fucking moved, they found me. They sent me mail. They called me. There was a guy outside my house one day putting a fucking letter into the mail. I was living with my aunt and uncle, was putting into their fucking mailbox from me from Scientology, and I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, oh, well, you still have I still have a class. What are you doing? Like, it's like,
they don't let go.
Bizarre.
They don't want you to leave.
I didn't know anything about the whole excommunication, because all of it is just like Jehovah's Witnesses.
You're like, here we go again.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about that until Leah Remini's show. I had no clue about the Shelley Miscavige. And how there's a story in Leah's show that was one of the ones where I was just like I couldn't breathe. And it was the one where the girl, there's a place like outside of here. It's beautiful, but they're all trapped inside. Not all of them, but there's a few that you can't leave. Right. You try to leave, they'll have you like put into a room like shut. Like I'm sure that she's in one of those. And the camera crew came to shoot a commercial because they have so much money they're putting on these big productions for commercials, and they get the best of the best. And so these people that weren't Scientologists came and shot a commercial, and this woman was part of she was like the first AD or whatever, and she's been trying to leave forever to escape, and she got into the fucking trunk of the car. It was almost done.
I know. I would like to tell my story too at some point before we leave the show. But go ahead.
When it was almost done, so she got into the trunk of the crew's car, and the guy said he got home and he heard this like knocking, and she was in the trunk, but she escaped.
It's fucked. It's completely fucked. Yeah, they do some.
That's fucked.
We'll debrief that after the show.
I'll explain why afterwards. I'll explain why.
Oh, you have to go. Oh, it's 1:20. Oh, okay.
The computer's fucking up.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a reason to it. It wasn't just being like, but we have to wrap up.
Okay, go.
The time I went there, I was a messenger. I had to deliver a package there, and they kept sending me through like, oh no, it's down the hall through here.
At which one? At the
Celebrity
Blue
Center,
place?
the same place. Mm-hmm. But every time I went through the hallway, a door would close and the lock would happen. Mm-hmm. So they get you, the way the place is set up, it's like almost like a dungeon where it's hallways that go all over. So you get lost in there, and they try to get me on one of those goddamn machines. They tried to get me on one of those, and I wouldn't do it. And then I was at a party, just a regular Hollywood party. It was like, I was probably 22 years old, and I was with a group of people, and we were kind of like joking about Scientology and how weird and creepy it is. And then I had a friend who was a Scientologist, and she goes, your name came up at one of the meetings recently. And I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, you and, two other guys, you guys have been blacklisted, and from this point forward, I can't talk to you anymore because you spoke ill of the church.
You're called squirrels.
Squirrels? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Squirrels. And also I forgot to say too, is that when the further I got into it, the more they kept saying that you need to leave your husband or bring him here but it's called there's another word. There's a squirrel, like you're a squirrel, and then you're also
I feel like I've heard another term.
it's someone that puts you, like, brings you down.
A wife?
No, what's the word?
Cliche.
That's so dumb.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, I'll think of it. But there's another word too, and that's what you guys are, because
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
bringing it down. So
Yeah.
I was supposed to leave my husband because he's a.
Were you?
What's the word?
Were you considered a Scientologist?
No, I didn't sign any. I didn't sign
Well,
anything.
you
but
did.
I was,
You signed
I
a
was,
stack of papers that you said you didn't
I did.
read.
I guess so. I mean, I went to the classes and stuff
Yeah, so you were then. You
for
were
a
part of the
minute.
church. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which was your favorite cult to be in? That one or Jehovah's Witness? Of the two, which one was better?
Scientology for sure.
Beautiful. At least
Wait,
then
I
that can make you famous. I mean, that can make it your career if you wanted
Exactly.
to.
That's what. Wait,
Well,
what's
I
that
hopefully we answered your
called?
question, Lee. Yeah, if you think of it while I'm wrapping up here, look it up.
Deprogram. No.
I have heard another term before, so I know what you're talking. I just can't think of what the word is.
An oppressor.
Oh, yeah, that sounds right.
It's an oppressive.
Something like that.
Oppressive.
Sounds right.
Oppressive.
You're on the right
Pretty cool
track
word.
for
Feels
sure,
really
if
good.
not.
Yeah, like you're yeah.
Jesus. So in other words, sign up.
Best
you can do
place
great things for
ever.
you. Wow. Crazy. I'm
But
happy,
I
I'm happy
think-
you got yourself out.
Yeah, no
Thanks,
kidding.
but I think they have a lot of shit on a lot of people
Oh,
from
yeah.
doing those
Well,
meters,
you know,
and that's why
one of their moves
there's
is
a couple
like
of them.
once you get up in the ranks, they have you sit down on camera and tell all your deepest, darkest fears and secrets.
Is that true though?
From what I've heard, yes.
I heard that too. but
I've
then
heard
I
that from
was like,
someone who was in it that they do that.
Oh,
And that's why a lot of celebrities, when they the reason they don't leave or when they do leave, they don't really talk about it is because they have these videos of you saying like, you know, when I was molested or I cheated on this person with this person.
Right.
Like they get you vulnerable
Yep.
and they make you feel like you can trust them, and then you spill your guts, and then they hold that as leverage over you. So
Yep.
you keep spraying. It's
there's a person
gnarly.
that's well known as being gay, and he probably will never be able to leave ever.
Todd
again.
Newman.
Oh my god.
Todd Newman. Everyone knows. Everyone knows. Is it
if
the one
he
that
was,
everyone knows?
I think so. Yeah, and I mean
JT?
JT is what I was thinking too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Fact.
yeah. Oh yeah, I have a yeah.
We have some. I think everyone who has lived
Yeah.
here for a while, we all have some firsthand knowledge of things that have happened and
Yeah.
people that are getting a little pale.
Yeah.
Scandalous.
Crazy.
Heidi, thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm sorry my story went on. For
No. It did go on for a while, but I was worried about the glitching happening on the computer, and I was worried about that. I'm not.
I think it's because I'm sick and I just rambled on.
It was a really good
Like I
show.
ramble.
Considering you were sick,
Yeah, no
I
kidding.
think we had a pretty fucking killer show.
Hold it together.
And thank you for coming in because I was worried for a minute.
Well, I
Because Todd's supposed to come, and then it was supposed to be the three of us, and Todd had some shit go down today. He had some dental shit happen that he's like, I can't make it.
ouch.
And then you were sick. I'm like, shit, because
all
I'm
I
done
had to do was
leaving
get.
tomorrow.
I had to get up and
That's the key. Isn't
Get
that
out the
just
door
isn't that just what life is? You just
Yep,
gotta
just
go.
Get up.
So
Take
simple.
life by the taste bud balls.
Yep.
So simple.
I still want to know why did they?
I don't know. We need to do more research.
Yeah. What scientist is like? You know what? I wonder if balls have taste buds.
I bet it wasn't just one scientist. I'm sure it's been a.
Oh, I'm
but,
sure it's
but we
one
did
more.
explain why, even though it sounds
Sure, it's
kooky.
one fucking creepy scientist.
Heidi, thank you. You can follow her at Heidi Sabrina. You can follow me at Dan Cleary79. I'm sure most of you already do. At Rareform Radio. We're never going to plug the other thing because we do it all the time. People know what to do. I look forward to seeing you next week. I think we have a very fun
have
guest
fun.
next week. Thank you. I'm going to Massachusetts to surprise my little brother and meet my nephew.
Oh,
Very
what's his
exciting.
name?
My brother?
No,
or the
your
nephew.
nephew.
His name is Anthony.
Oh,
So together we're going to be D'Anthony. I've decided.
Anthony.
And
Is this your first nephew?
first nephew. I have a niece. And I'm also my Uncle David, who I've told you about, the one who got me into music.
Yeah.
His memorial also happens to be this weekend, so I luckily get to do both, and I'm pretty
That's
happy
awesome.
about that. Yeah.
Are you staying with your mom?
I'm not gonna stay with my sister.
Nice.
So, but my flight was canceled already tomorrow. So we'll hopefully I get there.
You'll be fine.
But thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week. Send in those audio questions and comments. We love those very much. And thank you, Darren.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Heidi. And we'll be back next week.
This is Lola, and I'm here to tell the world to stop being such pussies and listen to Rare Form Radio.